What's good, LATD Nation, man? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the details of
NOSFERATU, the new horror movie that just came out this past Christmas, which of course, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope y'all had a good time with y'all families, this, that, and the third. But yeah, we back in here, back to the grind. And yeah, so NOSFERATU, man. I feel like that's not really a character or a name that needs to be mentioned as far as like a lengthy introduction. Everybody knows who NOSFERATU is. They know he's a vampire. They know he's based loosely on Count Dracula from Bram Stoker's classic 18-something novel. I don't remember the exact year that it came out or whatever.
1829?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
But what I do know, not to cut you off, that this movie is actually a remake of the classic silent film.
That movie came out in 1929. I'm tripping.
Yeah, like a long time ago. Over almost 100 years ago.
Exactly. Dang, that's wild.
And, that movie, the thing is that a lot of people probably wouldn't consider it scary now, but for the time, it really kind of revolutionized. It sort of pioneered the idea of horror and, being scared through film. It was kind of a trailblazer, and it paved the way for many films, probably countless at this point, including this one. So, like I said, it's a remake. Robert Eggers is the director. You might know him from The Lighthouse. What else? The Lighthouse, The Witch, The Northman. Yeah, so he's been kind of making his way through the scene lately, and this is his latest directorial effort, and we just go ahead and get into it. So far, what did you think?
Well, it was a very well made film, first of all, and when I saw it, when I was watching it, it had a feeling of The Northman too, because I was like, is this the same guy who made The Northman? And then boom, there you go.
Which is how you know that he's really doing a good job kind of putting his stamp on his films, because
exactly,
for you to be able to recognize that this is the same director, that's how you know he's got a very unique style. One thing that I think I'm starting to really notice with his films, he likes to do these movies set in the past, and he likes to be very dialogue or dialect accurate. Like, he really goes out of his way to make it feel like it actually takes place in the era, in the time period that it's set in, because a lot of the time you'll hear these accents and you'll hear sort of these phrases and these sayings that we don't necessarily use or say, in 2024, but he's very dedicated to making it feel as authentic. Because, like, I can attest to this, because even The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, I couldn't hardly understand a word them two were saying throughout the entire movie. I had no clue what they were saying for the most part. I had to put subtitles on it.
No, The Northman was the same way, because Northman took place in like Viking times and the Scandinavian, this, that, and the third. So that one was very much like, it wasn't like how SpongeBob did it, but it was very much like, Norwegian accents and everything like that. And first of all, with this movie, the NOSFERATU, how I could tell it was him was because the whole tone and the whole setup and how everything looked very like dark and dreary and very just kind of depressing in a way, because the Northman was the exact same way. So my thing is with this,
The Lighthouse was like that too. That was actually in all black and white.
Yeah. Oh, word. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Same thing with this one though. Like, even with all the performances were very Northman-like. Very good performances from Nicholas Hoult and I forgot the other girl's name. I'm gonna look up her name in a second.
Lily Rose Depp.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. So basically, the plot for those who haven't really seen the original NOSFERATU, or maybe kind of like in the dark as to what it's about. So basically what it is a man that is newly married going through his agency to, I believe, to sell or lease a house to Count Orlok.
Something like that. Yeah, the Count Orlok, the guy who would become Dracula, the vampire, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. So, spoilers alert, Orlok, that is NOSFERATU, in case y'all ain't.
And then he comes back with a little bit of something more than what he bargained for.
For sure.
Well, more or less. I don't think he really comes back with anything, but he knows that Orlok is coming.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, obviously this movie, one thing I did notice, and one thing I think a lot of people will appreciate, is that it's not a beat-for-beat remake of the original movie.
Right.
It definitely takes some liberties of its own. And boy...
it takes some liberties, all right, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so... positives, of course, like we mentioned, direction. We mentioned
cinematography
for sure. That was actually Jaron Blanche, something like that. He previously worked with Eggers on The Lighthouse and The Northman as well. So it's nice to see that their partnership is continuing. Right. They seem to be a very capable duo. This movie proved to be no different from their last efforts. So, that was great. Solid performances across the board from, like you said, of course, Nicholas Hoult, Thomas, the main protagonist. His wife, Lily Rose Depp, Ellen, gives a very, very good performance. Arguably the best in the movie, in my opinion.
Right. I just can't understand how like she acts possessed like that through the whole movie, bro. Like
she really has to sell it.
She does a really good job. Another person who played Orlok himself, Bill Skarsgård, killed it too.
Yeah. Bill Skarsgård has really become kind of known for sort of that creature, sort of like creepy role, like that transformative role.
Right, because he was in It chapters 1 and 2.
Of course.
And he was who else was he?
I feel like he did something else. He was the Marquis in John Wick 4.
John Wick 4. He was also in Good Bad Kid Mad World or something like that. It was like Boy Kills World. Yeah, I'm tripping. But yeah, no, he's really great in the movie too. Like he sells the fact that this is an old grizzly man trying to hit his lick for one last time.
And we'll get to that. But yeah, no. So yeah, Bill Skarsgård is kind of what you expect at this point. He comes from I guess you could say a family tree of actors. Stellan Skarsgård. Obviously, he was in Thor. His brother Peter Skarsgård. So they're very, very well known. Bill has become a very, very respected actor for his generation. The proof is in the pudding. He gives a very, very good performance. Willem Dafoe, of course.
Right. And I was thinking that Willem Dafoe was going to be Count Orlok, but turns out he was in, I think, the 79 one, Dracula.
Yeah.
So, okay, I thought he was going to be Orlok at first. He gives a really good performance.
As always. That's a very solid actor.
As the doctor or the professor.
The professor, yes. Who kind of is sort of the expert on Orlok. Kind of sort of the
really a religious expert. Really is a religious expert in general, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Because he's more of like, he's kind of like the part of the film that's like, he gives the most energy. Like, because this whole, shout out to Double Toasted. Watch their video on it too. Shout out to them. But no, like my thing is, they made a point in there to say that he was the energy, the kind of the quote unquote heart of the film.
He was low key, like he was the one that really kind of gave. I don't want to say he kind of was over the top.
Yeah, he was very much over the top. Like for this type of movie, for it to be very desolate and like gloomy and everything. He was one of the characters that gave the most shining moments to me.
For sure. And also shout out to Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course. He did really, really good in this role. And as well as what was that? That was Emma Corrin, his wife.
Emma Corrin, yeah.
Yeah, you had Friedrich and you had his wife. I believe her name was Anna. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Her name was Anna Harding. Yep.
Yeah, so they kind of play the best friends of Thomas and Ellen, and they do really good. They kind of house them in their time of need as Thomas is away on this crusade towards Orlok's castle. So they kind of act as the heart and soul of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. My thing was Aaron Taylor Johnson. Regardless of if y'all seen Craven or not, y'all know he's a good actor. First of all, like,
facts. We don't count that. I don't even think he counts that at this point. He probably did no marketing for this movie whatsoever. He wants this movie to be forgotten.
Exactly,
and it already has.
Low key, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's easily been one of my favorite actors for the past couple of years, especially in Bullet Train, where he played Tangerine.
Yep.
And Bullet Train. So his performance was really, really good.
I feel like
all of these performances were, to be honest.
I agree. Yeah, and Emma Corrin, she had, of course, recently starred in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Who was she?
Yeah, that was her. She was Charles' sister.
Yep.
Yeah, that was her.
Yep.
Yeah, she gives a really good performance. Kind of low key, kind of subdued. She's not really in it that much, but
not really.
Plays a substantial role. It's kind of like the backbone and the heart and soul for not just Friedrich and her three daughters, their three daughters, but also
two daughters.
Wasn't it? I thought it
was two. She was pregnant with one of them.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, she kind of course, provides sort of a warmth in otherwise relatively dreary movie. So overall, the performances were really good. It really kind of gives you what you expect to see, kind of a gothic sort of nightmarish sort of vibe, energy tone to it. Jeez. But I'm sorry, this has got to be a spoiler review. We're going to put this in the title, but boy, the twist in this movie. Now, I'm sure, a lot of y'all had time to see this movie over the holiday break because this movie did come out on Christmas. And, this video, of course, is being recorded this Monday, past Monday, or this Monday after Christmas. And boy, let me tell you what, this twist right here, this thing, when I tell you this is one of the funniest, most unintentionally, one of the most unintentionally funny things I've seen in a movie in years.
And not unintentionally in a bad way either.
Yeah, no, because it's still a good movie, but I feel like this movie definitely does feature a twist that is going to rub some people. I don't think everybody's going to be completely on board with it. And kind of rightfully so, because the twist, is that, Orlok has secretly been with Ellen, Thomas's wife, some years prior to them meeting and getting engaged and then married. and first of all, what kills me the most is that she knew who Orlok was and allowed him to go to the man, because I think it was like they were signing like divorce papers. I think what it is Orlok tricked him into signing divorce papers.
So he could be with her forever?
Yes.
So to speak?
Yes, essentially that's what it was.
So at the beginning of the movie, she essentially, when he mentioned that they were together before, she, for some odd reason, she just wants love in her life. I guess because her parents were like abandoned her or something like that.
We have no idea.
But she just wanted like a companion, some type of companionship in her life. And then Orlok shows up as that.
Orlok said, bet. Orlok said, I've been waiting to get my... Orlok over here, he rubbing his hands together like he Birdman.
No, so... excuse me. So Orlok is coming to get his lick back. And you're right, it was messed up for him... For her to not, and keep in mind, she's still suffering from like dreams and nightmares of this dude.
Yes. To this day, she, especially with
Wasn't that the name of an album? Dreams and Nightmares.
That's Meek's album, but that's a very off topic. Like that had nothing to do with. Nothing.
I'm gonna just put it like the irony anyway.
So essentially, they had their relationship or whatever you want to call it for some years, and then after that. Eventually, I guess they went their separate ways, and then Ellen met Thomas. It's crazy to me that she didn't let him know, oh, yeah, by the way, Orlok, that's my ex.
Right. And he takes, I think he mentioned that it was like a 6-week trip from horseback literally, all the way to Transylvania.
So it's like you couldn't have let him know anything. You just let him go in completely blind. It's no wonder Orlok was so pissed off. No, Orlok snatched his necklace, too. Like the locket.
Took the locket. Yeah,
Orlok was petty as hell.
No, keep in mind, I don't think she knew where he was going though. I think that might have been kept under wraps, but I think she ended up naturally finding out once Thomas came into contact. Right, but she knew, because I think she knew that she had a feeling that something wasn't right.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's what put her in sort of that I guess state.
Right, and with that being said, I feel like one gripe that I do have with this movie. Is that they play on that a little? I guess that's okay. Well, I guess you could say this is a part of the movie, but I feel like they play on that just a tad bit too long. Not necessarily too much, but they play on it a little bit too long. So I guess that's the plot of the movie. So I get it
for sure.
But it made the movie a little bit too long for my liking, because this could have ended like a couple minutes earlier.
It definitely does suffer from some pacing issues. I will say that the movie did. No, don't get me wrong. It had my full attention throughout the entire runtime. It being like around 2 hours or so, 2.5 maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
I really did overall enjoy it, but I do feel like it could have been tighter in certain aspects. I'm sure certain things didn't necessarily need to be included, but this is kind of a historical horror epic, so I kind of get why he put certain things in, but I mean, for the most part, I think that it still worked. And again, this twist right here, boy, it came so out of left field. Like, it was just, this is the last thing I would have expected, honestly.
Right, I agree. And that's part of the reason why I wish. Okay, no, so the twist at the end, the whole the whole scene, I'm gonna put it like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, when he gets his lick back, essentially, he waited 10,000 years for this.
Boy, because when I tell you, because
this man pull up in droves. He pull up with wolves. This man kills a whole crew. A whole sea crew or whatever.
Orlok was crazy. Orlok was wild,
and brings a whole plague full of rats, and
to where they live. Yeah,
just to get at this one girl. I was just
literally. Nah, let me tell you, because it was too funny. Because when Orlok got to Thomas and Ellen's house, man, what? He pulled up with nothing but drawers on. Orlok was ready, boy. I don't even think Orlok even said anything. I don't think Orlok even said a word. No, hey,
how you doing?
Not because what it was that if she didn't sign the divorce papers within 3 days, he was going to bring the plague and it was going to kill everybody and everything.
Oh, true, yeah.
Orlok pulled up, man. What? He was on time. Orlok didn't say a word. He said, let's get to it.
And then Thomas mad at the end. I'm thinking like, bro, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. No. She would have asked for the dude that she wanted to be saved.
No, facts. That's crazy work right there. That's crazy. Imagine you think you married this pure, innocent girl. Come to find out her ex is Count Orlok. NOSFERATU.
A vampire of all things. I'm like, with this movie, I'm like, couldn't you just stick to just a simple bite on the neck? She becomes a vampire too type deal?
Literally.
Like Morbius, the living vampire. Maybe not the Sony one, but still.
Robert Eggers, he just had to do it different. And boy, did he. He went all in with this. This thing was something else.
Right. And like I said,
it was crazy, not to cut you off, but like, you know, at the end, when the sun, of course, eventually rises, Orlok, he looks up and he just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, he just has no reaction. I just don't think Orlok cared.
No, he did. He like screamed at the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he was about to die, but I don't think he was.
But my thing is I don't think
it was pain.
He screamed. I think he screamed in pain. Actually, I think he screamed because it was painful that he was dying. But for him to have survived as long as he did, Orlok knew that song was coming up.
That's why I said I don't think he knew. I don't think it was pain, bro.
I don't think Orlok cared. I think Orlok said it is what it is. Orlok. That's one thing I respect about Orlok. That actually made me like Orlok a lot more because there was no shame in Orlok game. Orlok knew what he wanted and he executed to perfection. I think Orlok, he knew what he wanted and he said, I will die about what I want. And he did. He kept that energy.
I can't. No, but like I said though, like I feel like this is that's the part of the movie they really could have cut out, if I'm being honest. Because all jokes aside, it was kind of weird to see that too. Like it was. Sure. Keep in mind, we're in the movie theater, falling on the floor, laughing at this. We drawing attention and everything. So it was funny, but
people were side eyeing us. They're
like this joke was just funny, bro. It's like, but this part of the movie that could have been cut out. Like that's what I really mean by this was too long. Pause. So I'm just, but nah, it's because it just wasn't really needed. Like we get it. He wants the girl.
Facts.
And that's about it.
Thomas is almost made a side character in his own movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like and then they end off the movie with his grizzled, mangled body laying down on top of the girl, and I'm like, why you end the movie off like this? Let's see what Tom is doing. Facts. We know what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? That's like I said, this is the only part of the movie I didn't really care for, despite how funny it was.
It was so subversive, and that's why I say I really feel like it would be a controversial twist because I feel like some people they'll roll with the punches and they'll see, oh, let's see where this goes. Other people are like, nah, this is crazy. This is jumping the shark.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I kind of am somewhere in the middle because I did like it. But at the same time, it was ridiculous. I liked it because of how ridiculous it was.
All right, cool.
I liked it because it was just so ridiculous to the point to where it was like, okay, yeah, no, he's doing something I would have never expected. And I really did like that aspect of it. But boy, was that thing funny.
Well, I didn't expect it. I was like,
that thing was too funny.
Like, all I know is when he walked in that room, I'm like, I know he ain't about to. I know not. I know.
And the thing is, I think it's one of those things where it really, like I said, it will either make or break the movie for a lot of people. I think a lot of people, it's going to, like, lose some people, and some people are going to be more invested by it. But, like, I just feel like it's one of those things where it either works or it doesn't for you personally. For me, it worked for the most part. But I will say that it kind of, no pun intended, pause. It kind of sucked all of the tension and all of the atmosphere out of the movie for me, because once that happened, once they revealed it, I just couldn't take it serious. I really just couldn't take it. So from that point, I was just laughing and just dying at the fact that they really did this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But overall, though, still a great movie. I would highly recommend it just because of the atmosphere, the performances, the dialogue, definitely. Just the overall cinematography, it just makes it worth price that admission. So overall, I enjoyed this movie. Definitely one of the most memorable experiences I've had in the theater in 2024. And I just think it was a great way to close off the year. Me personally, I think this was the perfect movie to end off 2024 with. Me personally.
No, I agree. I'm sorry, y'all. But no, I 100% agree. Like, this is definitely like an 8 out of 10 for me personally. I
agree.
It was smooth. Like, it wasn't bad. It's not for me, but it's still a good little horror movie for y'all to check out. So it's like, I mean, with that being said, man, it wasn't bad at all.
No, sir. Definitely worth the price of admission. I would highly recommend seeing this movie in the theater.
Yeah, and especially because we about to talk. It definitely didn't make my worst movies of the year list.
Definitely not. No, definitely far from it.
Y'all stay tuned for that video too.
Yes, sir, for sure.
We got stuff to say about that one. But what would you give it out of 10?
I'll give it 8.
Bet.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a really good movie. The performances were done really well.
The atmosphere really kept me invested in it.
Exactly. Sure. And I was hoping the sun would come up at least one time, and ironically, that's the time it came up.
Yep.
Pause. But yeah, the movie, performances, the atmosphere, really, really good. Like I said, the only thing that keeps it from being like a 10, really just because of that pacing.
Yeah, I agree.
Really just that pacing. But
not so much the twist, more so the pacing.
Yeah.
Twist worked for me for the most part.
Yeah, it did for me too. It was dumb, but it worked for me too. But anyway, with that being said, this has been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
We're LATD. Remember, y'all, look at the details. Peace.